This is a tax policy change that impacts less than 1% of people, but look at how much attention it's getting. Some people don't think that the richest few should pay more in taxes. Well, I don't agree with that. At a time when the richest are only getting richer, I think it's fair to ask those people to pay a little more. You may have heard of the capital gains tax, or what some people call the capital gains tax advantage. Now, if you don't know what that is, you probably don't get that advantage. It's basically where you've made enough money and amassed enough wealth in assets that you end up getting a tax break. Here's what I mean. Everybody pays taxes on 100% of their salary. If a nurse is making $70,000 a year, or an investment banker has a salary of $800,000 a year, when it comes to paying income taxes, they're both paying taxes on all of that income. Now, that nurse may be living a good life, but she's probably not earning enough to be buying and selling assets like properties. But that investment banker, who's making $800,000 a year, probably is. He's putting some of his money in assets, like buying and selling properties or shares in companies. This becomes like a second and sometimes bigger source of income for him. When that investment banker sells those assets, he only pays taxes on 50% of the profits he makes. Now, he's not paying 50% in taxes. It means that if he makes $1 million from selling properties or stocks, taxes only apply to $500,000 worth of it. So when all the math is done, that nurse is paying about 29% in taxes on her full $70,000 salary. But the investment banker, he's only paying taxes on half of the money he makes from selling assets. That's the capital gains tax advantage. And it's not really fair. So we're going to change that. Starting June 25th, if someone makes up to $250,000 in capital gains, they're still going to pay taxes on only half of that. But for anything they make over $250,000, they're going to pay a little more. They'll pay taxes on 2/3 of that. So the very richest people are going to profit a little less off their assets. Only 0.13% of Canadians, to be exact. These are people who have an average income of $1.4 million a year and are mostly in their 60s or older. So why am I telling you this if the vast majority of you won't pay $1 more? Well, for two reasons. First, the conversation always seems to be dominated by the richest people in a society. This is a tax policy change that impacts less than 1% of people, but look at how much attention it's getting. And second, you should care about your tax system. This change to the capital gains tax will result in almost $20 billion in new revenue. Revenue that will go towards the biggest investment in housing in Canadian history. Revenue that will create a national school food program, that will make prescription contraception and insulin available for anyone who needs it, that'll build a national dental care program. See, a fair system creates a fair country, and that's what I want. A fair Canada for every generation.